They hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really...
Yo, what's up? It's your host, Sbpres. Welcome back to another episode of Express Yourself with Sbpres. And again, reporting live from Mastermind Media. Thank you as always, and I will always thank you guys, because without y'all, there is none of this. But again, it is not about me. It's about the individual that's in the house today. Got an amazing artist, dope-ass skater, but amazing person. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Cameron Calloway.
Thank you.
No. Thank you. This is long overdue. Again, you gifted me with this, last year, and I definitely want to say thank you. Thank you. This is a dope piece right here. We'll get into what this means to you and the whole upbringing and that, but let them know exactly where you're from originally, and we'll get into your family upbringing.
So I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up out there until I was like about 15 or 16. Moved to California, Los Angeles. And since then, it's just been
SoCal skating and enjoying it. Enjoying the sometimes sunshines and rainbows, but we've been having weird weather lately.
Yeah, this last few weeks, we've been having more rain than sunshine, actually.
Yeah.
This spring.
They always say we're in a drought, but I hope someone's saving this water somewhere, because this is just ridiculous. I live up in the hills, so when we get the rain, it's the whole street is covered. Oh, wow. So it's like there's no need even driving. Everybody should just get surfboards and stuff and just ride the wave down there. Just seriously.
Start riding through the streets.
Yeah, so let the viewers and listeners know exactly, your family upbringing, a little bit of that and stuff.
Okay. So my father, Reggie Calloway, he's a musician, producer, songwriter, worked with so many different artists. It's kind of like hard to name them all.
Oh, yeah. I know. My grandmother's has given me a list, and I will be having her father on at some point in time as well.
Definitely. He'll be glad to be on.
Definitely. Yeah. But yeah, keep going.
So on that side, a lot of music, listening to some of his stuff. He worked with a band called Midnight Star, and then worked with people like Joel Levert, making Casanova. So as a kid, that was a lot of the stuff I was listening to. And then on my mother's side, Sabrina Calloway, she's more of like a entrepreneur herself, in the senses of like gardening, food, just like loves to work with people as well. So that kind of put me in a area where I was around a lot of different people. I would say growing up in Cincinnati compared to Los Angeles, it was more of like a community, and this is like more like just everybody just
everyone for themselves.
So that was kind of like the cool transition, I feel like, from Midwest to West Coast.
Now growing up, when did you let's start with your artistry first, because the skating goes very deep as well.
True.
But with your artistry, growing up, would you say that you created your own unique style, or was your style inspired by your father being an artist as well?
Ooh. I mean, I had a lot of different inspirations. Midwest would be like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I listened to Eminem. I listened to, I'm trying to think, growing up is like, my sister, she was more of like boy bands and stuff like that too. So it was kind of like all this different mixtures of stuff. So my own style, I feel like, was definitely influenced by the multitude of music that was around me. But at this point in time, I feel like it's evolved more into my own style. Yeah.
Okay. Now, instruments. I did see you play.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been, and who taught you?
Ooh. So I play guitar, a little bit of piano, a little bit of production, my own side. Guitar, I kind of taught myself. It was like a gift I got for Christmas, probably when I was like 9 or 10.
So not reading music, just a feel for music.
Yeah. But then in school, started to like learn how to read music, and then my father kind of taught me a little bit of production things, how to like mix and engineer, stuff like that. But it was a lot of self-taught. YouTube, of course.
YouTube teaches everything.
Exactly. It's like, if you want to learn anything, YouTube.
Yep. Yeah. But don't just forget to, YouTube to learn something. YouTube to watch my podcast. Seriously. Like, subscribe, leave comments down. I look and I read, and I respond to everything or whatever. Definitely want to segue into that really quick. But yeah, man, this is again, the podcast is not about me. It's about you. It's about you. It's about everyone expressing themselves to help the next person come forth and express themselves, or just coast through this thing called life, because everyone's on a certain path of a certain journey that can help the next person. Each one can teach one. So so in your form of teaching and stuff like that, and learning how to read music and stuff like that, how would you say your process as far as writing it goes?
Now it's more like freeing. Using the guitar kind of allows me to create different riffs that allow me to I guess go into a different zone of thought. I used to be more of like the writing, just like find an instrumental or create an instrumental and just try to write to it, but now it's more of like the actual feeling of it, like actually allowing myself to process the information I'm getting in the instrument itself. So like if I'm sticking to the guitar, it's like, okay, this is like a certain vibe to it. Songwriting, actually I've taken a break from, just because it's like I've been wanting to focus more on the instruments themselves and like find out what the sound is.
Now, is it harder to record the instrumental sounds, as in recording vocals?
I would say it's kind of similar. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like kind of 50-50 for me on that. Yeah.
Okay. And if someone was, I guess, coming to, like, if a viewer or listener was just coming across your sound for the first time, and they wanted to know, basically, out of you, what does your music represent and how you would express it, what would you say?
I've been thinking about that actually too. Like, because I've been working on some new music, and I'm like, okay, what is this actually gonna be? My music to me means it's kind of like it's the world.
Okay. Okay. Now with your music being an expression of you connecting with the world, let's dive into your skating, because that's basically ripping up all the world, ripping up the curbs and stuff. I find, and you're
so
talking
funny.
to a person
So
who
true.
who's made his name off of it. No, I am not the greatest skater. I was one of those people who had an admiration for being better than what I actually was.
Yo, I feel
I remember being in junior high school. I probably was in the 6th grade, just getting into it and stuff. And I had a few classmates of mine, and at that time it was also about talking about it and not being about it as a kid. So you're overexpressing yourself, saying like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Well, they basically put me to the test, and all I could do was an ollie at that time. But if I did not, if I didn't have that situation put fire underneath me, it wouldn't have got me to learn more, to express more, and to get more bumps and bruises by challenging myself. And again, I'm not nowhere good. I mean, I can get out there and do a kickflip right now, a hard flip. I mean,
okay,
some things and stuff, but that's just muscle memory. But as far as you and your skating, when did you first start?
I actually started in, you said 6th grade for yourself?
Yeah, 6th grade. Well, 5th, 6th grade for me, yeah.
Okay, it was like 7th grade for me. So I've been skating for about 15 years now. And same thing, is like that beginning of skating, you're like talking about it like, oh, I want to do this, or all those different things. And so it was like maybe 3 or 4 years into my skating until I moved out here. And then oh my God, just like you said, SoCal skate.
It's a different breed. Now, for me, because I'm, older than you, for me, some of my skating inspirations when I was inspired by the game, the old heads, Tony Hawk, Ronnie Mullen, Kareem Campbell. You got some people in there, Chad Muska. Like, you got some people. But and then when I still was coming into age, into my teen years, we had TK and stuff like that. Yeah. So who were some of your skating inspirations, especially coming from Ohio?
Well, when I first started skating, my inspirations were, of course, like just like you're saying, Tony Hawk, Rodney Mullen, just being able to go to YouTube and be able to watch like trick tips that they were doing, and then it evolved to seeing. I'm trying to think of what the first like skate video I actually watched.
I had some pretty old school stuff. I had some CKY videos.
Oh, wow.
Like I had some stuff, some hits, whatever. So
I had I think the first video I watched was Osiris Feed the Need.
Mm.
So I think it was Jimmy Carlin was like one of the first skaters that was like, wait a minute, like what is this? And you said hard flip. That's exactly the trick that was like one of his. And then it was, of course, P-Rod, Paul Rodriguez.
Hey, the GOAT. I had the luxury of meeting him. I got to work at a skate shop as well.
Oh, nice.
Out in Buena Park, Garden Grove to be exact as well. I don't even want to say the name of the establishment anymore. That wishing them nothing but the best and stuff like that. Yeah. It was great time, great experience. We had several events where we got to meet with some of the skaters because they came out to meet and greets and stuff. And P-Rod was probably one of the best down to earth people in the industry that you could ever meet. Not everyone in the skate industry is that way. So like it kind of contests to like people being humble, even though they come across greatness. So like, how are you able to stay so very poised and humble?
Well, I think that's just like you're saying from P-Rod. I think from his background, it's like skating is just so diverse. Like there's just so many different cultures of people coming from different classes and like different situations. So it kind of makes you have to stay humble when you meet people because you don't know their situation. And then the actual act of skating is so humbling. Like you can land anything you want to, but just like you said, you're going to get those shinners, those bruises, maybe break a few bones, and like
knock on some wood.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I feel like the act of doing it, watching other people doing it, as you grow within the culture, kind of you have to be humble to it. But I definitely have met a few people that it's like they're not as humble as a few.
Yeah, I had the luxury as a kid meeting a skater that wasn't as nice as you would think he would be, having fans that support him and stuff like that. And that's just life, even in the industry that I'm in right now. Like we as individuals, we go through these situations where we want our closest people to support us, not realizing there's a support system of people who don't know us that we need to tap into.
That's so true.
And then we get lost in expecting that, oh man, our friends should champion us and cheer us on the most, when it's like that was the initiative. The bigger goal and the bigger picture is tapping in with people who don't know to kind of like give them more of an experience. So with that being said, I have an amazing segment called Blast from the Past, where I, take some images from your past and throw them up here. And first thing that comes to mind, please let it just come out. So mastermind behind the scenes today, Mr. Mark.
Got you. All right, here we go for the first one. 3, 2, 1.
Boom. Now, like I said, your illustration is amazing. Now, can you express yourself with this?
So I did this illustration maybe a year and a half ago, and it was a point in time where I wasn't actually skating as much. I was more of like focusing on, as we were saying earlier, like business side, kind of like finding who like is the right energy to be around doing the skating stuff. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this image was something that represented that, like just going out there and like experiencing things and being able to see things from a different viewpoint, not being able to, like as a skateboarder, you're always having to look down at your board and you just see your board. So I feel like this was like, oh, there's so much more out there that you can actually go see.
Yeah, opening up your eyes to the world, and it'll give you a bigger and brighter perspective of it.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else we got, brother?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Boom. Another one. So get there. Where were you trying to get to?
At that time, I think just like from the other image where it's like, okay, I'm not really on my board. So this one was like, get on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's sometimes just getting there is just that first step, or just like that. So I feel like that was skating, like that first push on your board is sometimes the most intense feeling. So
yep,
that's what I was trying to get to.
Making sure, your trucks are not as loose, or I don't know, there's some people who ride loose than others.
True. I have some friends that they don't even put the bushings in their trucks. They're just like, or like the the actual.
Yeah,
Take
they take their bushings out.
Yeah,
and then
and they're just skating straight on like the metal. It's crazy.
nah.
That's what I'm saying.
I seen you skating in the rain.
Oh,
I'm like, that's bad for your bearings, bro.
Oh my gosh! And shout out to the homie that actually just gave me some bearings because I needed some, and because of the last few days of raining. And it's fun to do like little power slides and stuff like that, but it definitely takes out your bearings.
Oh yeah, I know. I pay a lot of attention. I watch. If there's one thing you are gonna know me for, it's doing my homework. Yeah. For sure. What else we got, brother?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So what does this mean to you?
I remembered when I took this photo, it was kind of quick too. I was just like, all right, I need to, because I always have my skateboard and I'm always like utilizing it so much. So I'm like, all right, I don't like, I play the guitar, but to actually make myself like be with my guitar. So that's kind of what I felt like this image was, is like, oh, here I am. Actually, my guitar and me are together. Like
finally forcing yourself to be one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's crazy because with the passion that you have behind it, it would seem as though like you already are. So then my question is, what keeps you away from feeling like that on a regular, feeling connected to your passion, your music, to skating?
I mean, I don't think there's anything holding me really back from the passion of it. I think it's the recognition of how passionate you can sometimes be of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is like even when I look at this picture now, like the first thing that came to my mind was, oh shoot, the guitar is actually taller than me. Like such a like a big object. So I feel like sometimes it's like trying to like ride the beast of the situation, like knowing that the guitar itself is like such a strong instrument. And so I have to like be able to almost not tame it, but be able to understand what the thing is. Like skating is the same way. It's like as soon as you step on your skateboard, just we said that first push is like, so it's like being able to know and become like one with that thing. So
I've seen some people's first push take out some teeth because they, they have their balance right.
Yeah, gotta have that first step right.
Mm-hmm. What else we got, brother?
3, 2, 1.
Boom. Yes, you in action. Definitely. Also, the illustration on the board is also done by you as well.
Yes.
So elaborate, like, what does skating really mean to you? Connecting your art with your skating also, and the misconception that people who does not understand the industry give a better perspective of it, so it can clear that up. Because there's a lot of judgment when it comes to the world of skating.
It's an art form. It's a sport. It's a lifestyle. It's a well-being. To me, it's like something that you can do without having many rules put to it, as much as the culture itself may. I feel like that's how anything is, where there's like a set things to do, but I feel like skating is such a freeing like thing. So I feel like the misconceptions of skating is that, just like we were saying in the beginning, like it's kind of destructive. Like you kind of have to go out there and you're in the streets, it might destroy your clothes. It's kind of like you're kind of destroying the property sometimes, but at the same time, the skaters, like as we've grown up, we recognize that, so we've kind of like will help fix it. But I feel like the misconception of it is that it's just something that is, I've tried to think about that because I don't really understand what the misconception is.
Because a lot of people just see like skating and it's just like, oh, it's loud. Now it's a sport. Like they've coined it as a sport. Like you can compete in it and stuff like that. So it's taken the whole like hobbiness of it away and made it to where it's a livelihood. You can you can support yourself and your family from it and everything.
I think the connection I feel to it is that, because when you say like it's loud, I'm like, I definitely feel on that, where it's like, for instance, even in this photo, I'm like skating some flat ground. There's like some houses over there, and I'm thinking in my head of like, dang, every single time I don't land this, it's like such a loud sound. But at the same time, like anybody knows that you will hear a skateboard go down the street and you know the sound. It's kind of like a basketball hitting the ground. It's like that like sound can be either music to you or it can be something that's like the most annoying thing that you ever heard. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's beautiful at the end of the day. So it's kind of like that can be the misconception is like, what is it to you? To me, it's like it's beautiful. Yeah.
To each his own, but you know,
Honestly.
there's X Games for a reason. There's Tony Hawk Pro Skater for a reason.
That's so true.
You know, there's the game Skate for a reason. There's
Very-
Tech Decks for a reason.
True that.
You know, there's a lot of my name Sbpres. All I wear is Nike SBs for a reason. Now, no, I'm not a current skater,
I feel you.
but definitely it influenced my life a lot. Pharrell, you know, that whole thing. And Pharrell didn't skate either, but he was big.
I thought he did.
Nah. Behind the scenes,
I'm gonna have to
it
talk
got
to him
got back to me that he didn't really skate like that, but
Okay.
but he definitely influenced a lot of people, just not just in the culture of skating, but the fashion game and connecting the both.
Yeah.
You know, ice cream and everything, having a skate team and just getting more people, you know, to recognize it for just more than just a hobby.
That's so true.
Recognizing it for a passion in the sport.
And that's kind of like what we were talking about earlier on the music side, where it's like it's the world. So that's something that multiple artists I've listened to have done, make skateboarding become something that is like a more open to the culture.
I mean, you know, my favorite rapper, Lil Wayne. Need I say more?
Hey, that's Lil Wayne.
Yeah. What else we got?
Ripping it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right. 3, 2, 1.
Now, I noticed you get a lot of filming and stuff in and stuff like that. Is there a way that people could actually support more and get more skate tapes back up to get the youth back more in the scene and stuff like that? Because I'm noticing a lot more people are filming themselves in that way, but is there a way for people in the community to kind of like just, I don't know, just be more recognized for it?
I think that's what's cool about social media today. Like, as we say, like skateboarding in the beginning, it was tapes, videos, DVDs. Only skate shops really had it. So that's kind of what we were talking about before, where the culture wasn't really known because it was a niche thing. But now with social media, you can record something on your iPhone, put it up on Instagram, and that will get like you at least some type of traction. I upload a lot of YouTube videos of like my friends skating at the park. I'm actually working on a series right now called Highs and Lows. Kind of has this like vibe of like there's going to be ups and downs in your skating. There's going to be these moments that it's like super hyped and you're just like on a like cloud 9, and there's these moments where it's like it's super low, and it's like, and then even my local skate park is called Pedlo Skate Park. So
Okay, shout them out.
so that's the homies. But I feel like when it comes to skate tapes, like I film a lot of digital now, so like that camera I don't use as much because of tapes, but a lot of my friends know you just go to Amazon and you might be able to find like a good pack of tapes to be able to actually film on, because that nostalgic feeling of having your skating on tape, going through it like that is priceless.
It's time to resurrect the skate tapes.
Honestly.
Resurrect it, you know, bring those back and get more people loving the passion of skating.
Honestly.
Like it's a lot more than, you know, than people think it is. So, you know, it's a culture behind it.
Yeah.
And, you know, just recognizing more and stuff like that and getting people outside the house. You know, I get it, you know, Twitch got their own thing going and everybody's, you know, gamer this, gamer that.
Right.
But some of the things that we're lacking is actual like outside. And this is one of the things that could actually help it. So, yeah, kids need to get back outside and get some bumps and bruises.
True that.
Instead of, you know, thumb action, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's
know?
like go get in the mud a little bit, get a little dirty.
Right,
It's like
getting cataracts from just watching the screen a little too much and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah, but it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't.
Got to keep that balance. That's all it is.
What else we got?
All right, we got one more for you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom. So, what does this mean to you?
So this was my first music project that I did with my actually just using guitar only, like a few drums, no other instruments. la musique de moi. I feel like it was like just a zone of being that I recognized was like not only myself, but something that I felt like could represent like just this time period that we're in. And I'm like, okay, how do I get across the idea that music isn't, I guess, guarded? Because I feel like there's such an industry that can just say like, oh, this is what music needs to be. This is what gets played right now. So I was like trying to find a way for myself to personally be able to be like, you know what? Music is like a whole different like area that could be kind of like skating, where it's like there's no rules to this.
There shouldn't be any control behind it.
Exactly.
You know.
So that was kind of what I felt with this, was like, even in the photo, like I took that maybe at like 3 a.m. I like just went outside my house and just like walked around for a while. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Like, I've already like recorded the whole thing. Like, I just need to like take some type of photo. I like set up the photo. All these cars are going by, and all I'm seeing is like just red flashing lights. And I'm like, all right, this is actually the mood. Like, this is the energy. Just set up the camera and just boom, just look straight into the lens. And
now do you skate to all your music?
I used to, actually. Like, when I was younger, it was more of like have like a playlist going, have other music in there, and then have mine in there to kind of see what it would like feel like with it. Lately, I'll listen to more of my instrumentals maybe sometimes, but not as much as I used to. Yeah.
Okay. Now, also, I want to dial things back a little bit on how we actually even met and stuff like that, and how I actually got the luxury of getting this shirt. We met because, my grandma, Tutu, shout out, was helping set up an event for you and your father for your art to be displayed and everything. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that and everything? Because it was basically an art gallery there. You guys had, physical objects around. You also had like a whole like slideshow on the screen going, just showing multitude of just different inspiration and different art and stuff like that. How would you say people are usually respectful and receptive of your art?
Well, first off, I want to say shout out to my father again, Reggie Calloway, for putting on that event. The California Copyright Conference as well. That was kind of what that event was that sponsored it to make it all kind of happen. My uncle, Vincent Calloway, was also one of the artists that was featured there. And so with my family, we kind of have this, I don't know, it's like, if we're going to do something, let's do it. Let's make it a party. Let's make it a feeling that is like something that we will remember.
And it happened to be Halloween. So.
Right. That was like...
Setting that up was already its own thing.
And I appreciate you and your grandma and everybody that actually helped like set up everything too. It was
definitely a pleasure.
Awesome like thing. I feel like when it comes to the respect, I guess you said, or the response to the art. Yeah. The response to the art is, I was very pleased with how everybody actually responded to it. It was my second art event that I've done. First one in that type of format of like the different type of audience that was there. I've usually done it more of like more like homies and stuff like that with art, but that was more of like professional. And I feel like it went really awesome, honestly, like where from like the first image was actually a part of the event. I think we sold maybe like 3 or 4 pieces to actually donate to the conference and everything as well. So it went really amazing. I feel like there needs to be more type of events like that where it's kind of just like people getting together and making things happen.
Right, because there's a lot of connections that come through those things. Even I was told like, oh, you should have been there. There was so many people that you could have had on your podcast and everything. And, there's people that were asking for you. And that feels good. Yeah. But then sometimes when I think about it, I'm still just a small fly on the wall, just trying to get just observe and understand everything.
I feel that.
But it was really dope to be there for the time period to see the amazing work that you guys have created and stuff. Yeah. So when it comes to your dad creating, what would you say is the separation between his and yours?
His is, I'm trying to think of the word. Like perfectly seasoned, I feel like is what his like style of creation of things, where he like understands, he's like been in the business, like, so he understands what needs to like go down to make things happen. He knows how to put people in positions that makes the job easier and makes everything just flow naturally, from his music to business. Shout out once again, because boss.
Yeah, for sure.
And on my side, I feel like it's like I'm learning. So anything that I do is kind of like a new representation, something that can I want to make something that can continue and make it last. So it's the separation right now to me is, it's like if I stick to it, I say he's got the perfect seasoning, knows how to put everything, and mine's like, all right, that seems about right.
We're going use a little
bit. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you're still working on your perfect season gumbo. You're still working on it, but
exactly,
work in progress and stuff is always the thing. It's always the key. It's not the destination; it's the journey.
Definitely.
So we've gotten to the journey of the positivity point of the podcast and stuff. Go ahead and leave the listeners and some viewers with some positivity. And then, of course, this is family, so of course I'm going to have you back on at a later date and stuff. Again, leave them with positivity, because, again, each one can teach one. And this is all about helping the next person persevere through no's.
Definitely. Just like you said, it's a process. So if you're going to do something, recognize that it takes time, it takes energy, it takes a team. It's not something that you're going to do right overnight, but recognize that if it's something that you want to do, that you can do it. It's really as simple as that. Sometimes there's going to be difficult things, but I feel like just like moments like this, even from the show, you weren't able to make it the day of, but I felt actually this crazy energy that was like, oh shoot, I should give him a shirt. Like, same situation. It's like that didn't happen. This didn't happen. So it's like recognizing those moments and just allowing them to flow naturally. And I think things can work out for anybody, like, in their life. Yeah.
They say if you have to force a fart, it's usually shit. So just want to, let that be known. Let that be known.
It's like, be careful out there, guys. You don't want to.
You really don't. And then and also next time we'll have you on, we'll talk about, the sponsorships and everything that you've went down within the skating universe and stuff like that. But let the viewers and listeners know your Instagram handlers and where to find you.
You can find me at I'm King Cam on Instagram, YouTube. I'm actually working on my website right now. Also for different like shirts and like board designs at Romance Skateboards. So it's kind of like a cool process right now. If you want to watch the different videos, we got highs and lows up right now, HDV cam. We got a couple other things actually like coming as well. We've been filming. Yeah.
Heck yeah. We're going to work on some stuff behind the scenes.
Definitely.
I need to film some stuff as well.
Let's get in the streets, yo.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm always in the streets. But street sweeper. Don't call me for that. There's a homie that I'm working on getting on this for that. We're going to talk about that later. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I can't say thank you enough, but I will always, always thank you, and thank you. As always, I'm your host, Sbpres, and like that, we're gone.
First, let me demonstrate how you can rise to the top. Yeah, I had to elevate. Yeah.